Hello guys, welcome back to the Shiftinglands YouTube channel. It's been way too long. We did our last video in April of this year, 2024. And we thought, well, it's time to have a break or get a break. Which ended up being a long break. But I never stopped crafting and my list of possible videos is growing by the day. But apart from that, it's time to pick up where we left off. So the last video we shot for our summer break was transferring a block of foam into a, well, basic shape of a house. And we ended the video with the question, okay, what would you like to see? What kind of building should it be? And I gave some options, I believe, of course, fantasy, Wild West, sci-fi, whatever. And it came to no surprise that most of you chose for a fantasy building. So I did, and I want to show you the next steps of transforming this basic shape into a fantasy house. However, I had so much fun doing it that I made another 2 variants, but we will come back to that later in the video. And yet again, having so much fun, I'm thinking of doing even more of these types of builds where I transform the same structure in a total different house. Anyways, enough blah blah. Let's get on and do the following steps, the next steps to transform this into a fantasy house. Well, and then it happens. You dive right in, and once you have done something like this, you came to realize that you skipped a crucial step. And actually, this is something we have to put first in the video, because before I transform a solid block into this, like cutting out the inner part, before I do all that, I need to cut off a thin sheet of foam from that block, roughly 1/5, a little bit more. Having a sheet like this, because I need a sheet like this, so I have a floor for the next elevation. Which I cannot do once I've cut out these blocks. So this was step number 1. Have to put it in front of the video, Ruben. And after this, we can go on and cut out everything we need to cut out. Now, okay. So these are the blocks. This is the base, this is the ground floor, the first floor, the stairway and the roof. And we have to cut out the inner parts, which is reasonably simple, but we have to make it a little bit more interesting. So first, although normally I eyeball everything, let's draw some lines so I know where to cut. Now this all seems this all looks very straightforward, but here I would like to make it a little bit more interesting. Okay. Even kijken hoor, ik ga verkeerd. Ga ik verkeerd? No, it's okay, it's okay. I will explain in a moment. Okay, let's make the lines a little bit more visible so I can explain what I'm trying to do here. Not sure if you can see it. Like this? Okay, Ruben. So we have two parts. This is, let's say, a gallery. I imagine that this is open, at least from the front, maybe from the side, with large archways. So it's a you can walk underneath, or you can walk through it. So that's open. So the wall of the house itself is over here. So this line is being extended, and then it goes up this way. So this part goes out, and this part goes out. Now, I will go in here. I will cut, go back. Then I go back here, and there you are. So this wall is only attached here, and here I've cut it, which is not a big deal. With a little bit of wood glue, and it's solid again. First step. There we go. Preferably use a foot pedal. I do it without foot pedal now. I choose a specific, this is where I go in. Now I go in here because the whole cut will be concealed by the stairway. So this is for me the most logical entrance, you could say. Off we go. As you can see, I push down a little bit. The wire, the tension is off the wire, so I can rotate more easily. Next part. Walls are roughly, in this case, 2/5 of an inch thick, which is fine. Maybe a little bit too thick, but hey, that's okay. Okay. So now I cannot rotate anymore. This is in the way, so I have to go the other way around. Okay. That's nice. Okay, there we go. Okay. Now, as you can see, this is a little bit more work because I'm going to all these rotation. I have all these rotation points, but in the end, it looks more interesting. So it's worth the effort, I think, at least. Okay. Okie dokie, almost there. Okay, final cut. And then we are done. Okay, so number one. Okay, let's, I can go on to the next level, but let's try and make it look a little bit more like a building. So I will now add some openings for doors and windows and arches. I think I will do that first. Yep. Good. Starting with the stairway. Now this is all very, it's like you go up and you walk in between two high walls. It actually looks like a kind of bunker. I would like to have it in an angle, like it's a kind of stone banister. That would look a lot, I think that looks a lot better. So let's start with that. Yeah. Again, I eyeball it. It is roughly 4/5 of an inch, 2 centimeters. I think that's okay. And now I have to go up. If I say 2 centimeters. Okay. Okay. Let me think. Again, eyeballing it. Let's start with the longer part. And for this, I will use a scalpel knife. Okay. Oh, that's nice. That looks a lot better already. So let's try and trace the other one as well. Okay, that looks good. That's one. And yeah, I'm very pleased with how that came out. So that's good. Okay, I take my Roman template and I want to get some windows in, some archways. So for instance, the archways, let's try and see what fits. I think 2 archways would be cool. So first of all, let me find the middle. Okay, It is roughly 1.5 inch. Is it? 5.5. Okay. Got it. Okay. Let's do it. Okay. Let me see. Yep. Okay. Not sure. Can you see it? Okay. So you see here are the arches look really nice, but I don't like it in a way that the top of the arch is too far from the top of the building. So I will extend it, make sure it's a little bit higher, like, yeah, roughly 2/5 of an inch higher, 1 centimeter. So these are the two arches in front. The same arch has to go on the side, but this template is too large. I cannot transfer that shape over here. So what I will do, I will cut out one of these arches first and use that one as a template for the side. Okay, so come on. Not all the way through yet, but I think, oh yeah, there we are. Oh yeah, okay. Do this one also. Okay, the two arches here, they are out. This is the one that's the most precise, so we'll use this one as a template. Now here's the thing. As you can see, it fits nicely, so that's okay, but this is very thick and I cannot get my pencil here. I can trace up to here, but not all the way around the template. So what I do, let's make it a little bit thinner, like maybe 1/8 of an inch. Now I have better access tracing the entire shape. There you go. Let's cut it out. Okay, that's done. Okay, on to the next part. I like to I like to put a door and a window in here. I want to have a window in here. I think I will add another little build over here, maybe a chimney over here. But first I would like to cut out a few windows. Now, again, I have a problem. As you can see, my template is too large to actually get in there. So what I can do is either take a door, a wooden door, an MDF wooden door and window, and trace those, or I can simply take the thin sheet of foam, trace the shape I'm looking for on the sheet, cut it out and use it as a template. To speed things up, I will use a wooden door and window. Let me see, I think I have them over here. At least oh yeah, 1, 2. So I have here a window and a door, and let's use these as a template. I need a very sharp pencil. Now here I will place a window, and the window has to be as high as the door. Now, since these have the same measurements, I actually use the window instead, use the door instead of the window, because I know it fits. This whole transferring of shapes onto the foam, cutting them out, I show you a few examples. I don't think going over every window and door in this project will bring you a lot of new insights. So a few examples and then we skip to another part. Okay, the door. I think I will use a smaller window. I will use a smaller window because this wall is too narrow to have a large window beside it. So yeah. Yeah. Okay, just some thoughts about what I'm doing right now. This wall is attached, and actually transferring shapes or using templates on this wall is actually, I make it myself very difficult because this is in front of it. There is no I don't see a reason why you should not cut this wall away from the project. Do everything you want to do with it, cut out the shapes, applying texture, and in the end glue it back in. That works probably a lot quicker than what I'm doing now. But I chose this route, so I will finish it. Okay, time to cut it out. And as you can see, yes, this is way too complicated because everything is in the way. But then again, foam is also quite flexible, so I'm not, I don't think it will break. Okay, that's one. Okay, I convinced myself this is fine, do it like this, but there you go, bye bye swy swy. I cut it out, I'm done with it. It's so much easier. Life is so simple. Okay, there we go. As I said, now it's way easier to do what you have to do. And once you're done, you just glue it back. So, there we are. Let me see. Okay. Okay, well, fits. And now we do the final window. Okay. And there you have it. Again, there might be some more windows in there, not sure. But slowly we are transforming the basic shape into something that looks more like a house. Now here you see the window is sealed off by the foam behind it, so that doesn't look nice. I want to give you the idea that you can look inside, so I take out the stair and I will cut out, very simple, this part I will cut out, and then we have an opening. And actually, why not? Okay. Well, that's nice. So, that's a lot better. Okay, nice. Put that one in. Yeah, fits. Okay. Again, sorry. Again, this is rather dull. I should be doing something with it. So I think on this long wall I will build a chimney. I will add another window for sure. So somewhere over here. If you use windows as a template, know that the lines you are drawing and you cut on these lines, then you have a wider opening than your template. So try to stay within the lines. Okay, not all the way through. Okay, good. So far, so good. I can do the same with the first floor. The first floor is very simple because I only trace these lines the way I did this part, and I cut out windows, doors, etc. So showing that once again doesn't add too much to this video. However, I also want to build a little thing over here. I want to build a chimney over there. And I think these are interesting enough to show you. So let's do just that. First, the little, I'm not sure how you call it. Ruben, while I'm cutting, maybe you can find the word for erkertje. Erkertje is Dutch for, well, we'll wait and see. So roughly...
bay window.
A bay window. Thank you so much. So let's start with a 2-inch, yeah, 2-inch wide shape. Okay, that's okay. And a little bit over 1 inch deep. Okay, let's look. Okay, yeah. That looks rather well. So now I need to make a few. So roughly 2/5 of an inch. Is that so? No, a little bit more. So markers. And now in a 45-degree angle. And yes, again, I eyeball it. Now this side, put it over here. I can do this with my eyes closed because now I get the same angle on the other side. Okay. But I am not satisfied. It has to be a little bit more. So let's just do that by simply slicing off a thin slice. I will make that side a little bit larger. Okay. Okay. That looks nice. Next step. Let's try and make a foundation. Okay, this part is finished. Okay. It will go up until there. Is that okay? I guess it is. Okay. I'm thinking it hurts, I know. Okay. So now I cut a thin slice of all 5 sides. And finally, which means that if I put it back here, now the block underneath sticks out a bit and that looks nice. So, okay, that's the next step. Now get the inside, remove the inside. Don't worry if it's not perfect. It's all about having the inside open. So now I can put windows in it. Yeah, looks good. The roof. Let's try and make the roof. Take the same depth as the base to start with. Okay. Okay, that's nice. Transfer. No, that's this one. Okay. transfer the shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, and cut that out. Okay, there we have it. Let's clean it up a bit. Nice. So, next thing is to actually make a spire kind of shape. So for this, let's start. Let me see. Ooh, this. I try to do it. I try to eyeball it, but in the end, this is the middle. So one line goes over here, one line goes over there, here, there, and actually they all come together. All these surfaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, come together here at the rear. So yeah, let's see if I can make that happen. So the most easy thing is the front. So I start with the front. Everything I can do with the hot wire cutter, I will do with the hot wire cutter. What I cannot do with the hot wire cutter, I will have to do with a hobby knife. Okay, so that's good. Now, if this is the center, the question is, can I also do the side? I think I can. Okay, and the same for this side. Okay. Now finally, I need to cut these angle sides and try and do it with. No, that is way too difficult to do it freehand on your proxxon, so I will use a hobby knife. And to help me get the right angle, let's put a line over here. I will show you in a moment. And put one over here. Okay. So here we have the area I have to flatten out, starting from the top, and try to touch both lines with the cut. Oh, good. Other side. One. And here we have the other one. So let's do it again. I think it's good enough. Okay, so here we have our little bay window. Now we can argue about if it's maybe it's a little bit too high. So let's see if I put it like this. Well, we can argue, but we can always cut it here so it's a little bit lower. But this is something I want to add, and just to make it all look a little better, Let's cut this one out. Okay, there we are. Now, because these are also basic shapes, there is one basic shape I really would like to add now, which is a chimney. Mind you, if I put a chimney over here and it's out of one piece, then that's a bit tricky, because I want to have this roof being removable. This whole piece goes off. So actually we have to make a chimney part 1 glued on the ground floor, part 2 glued on the first floor, and part 3 glued on the roof. And for this we simply first take a block that has actually the same height as this one. So this block is perfect. I can use that block. And a chimney you could use, well, whatever you like. So let's try and cut a shape. Okay. Roughly 1 inch thick. And now, since I want to make this out of 1 block, you don't have to. You can actually make this out of 2 or more blocks, but just to show you that it's possible, this is the base. This little line sticks out a little bit. So what I do, roughly 1/8 of an inch, low heat, off, and now, okay, so the wire is pressed between the block and the fence. I switch it on, and once the wire goes into the foam, I start pushing the block away from me. Oh, there he goes. A little bit more heat. There you go. Okay, let's do it again. Now for the side. Oh, stupid me. Okay, have to do it again. Oh. Okay. Now it's good. So here we have the first shape. Make it a little bit more interesting. Yep. Cut out this shape. Okay, good. And now doing a little angled strip of these 3 sides. Yeah. So 1, 2. Come on. And 3. Nice. So let's check. Oei, Now here you see the chimney part is very close to the window. I do not like that, so what I do is I get rid of, I will shorten this part by, well, let's start with 1 centimeters or 2/5 of an inch. Come on. Okay, that's better. Okay, so this is number 1 for the ground floor. And the extension, I can do it actually very simple. It's like, it's exactly that size. Okay, it's a little bit too wide, but it's straightforward. Yeah, and here we have already the next part. And sure, I can do a little extra feature, cutting it at the same height as this part, as the first level. And once I've done that, I can again cut away a very small angled piece on all sides and add the final part on there. So we get something like this. Yeah. And now I can take the final part, which is something like this. Okay, again, I can cut that away. I'm not sure if it's the right, okay, it's a little bit too thick. Okay, one, that's one. Okay, and now make come on. There you are. Okay. Okay, so we added the bay window over here. We added the chimney over here. Not sure if it looks good from your angle. Okay. Now we have a combination of still adding basic shapes. Like I could also say that the chimney is a basic shape, the bay window is a basic shape. But more importantly, I started off with a very basic shape, and while I am working on that basic shape, adding, cutting out the inner parts and adding the archways and doors and windows, in that whole process I am thinking about, okay, what could I add next, which are these two elements. I still have to add a few things. I told you the first floor is the same way as the ground floor, so not much use to go over that again, cutting it out, cutting out the center and cut out the doors and windows. What I can do, I will show you. I do one example and then I want to focus on texturing. But the thing I want to show you guys is I think we need to have a kind of banister on here, meaning that we have roof. We have a roof, of course, with shingles, just cardboard shingles, or use the shingle jig, so that's fine. But we need a railing over here and we need one over here. So doing that, I give one example. I will make this railing. It consists again out of one solid block, but I will show you. Of course I will show you. So let's say this size is fine with me. Let's try this size. It's not fine with me because it's too small. I think this one is better. Oh yeah, way better. So let's start off with this. Okay. First, let's make the block to the right size. One. Get rid of coating. So now the height. So I have my block. Oh, oh yeah. There it is. I have my block and now I have to think about, well, wait. How about that? No, that's okay. So now I have to determine the height. I could use a mini, but in total it's, let's say, 2 centimeters. So I make it a little bit less. So part number 1. Okay, so here we have a railing or a fence, or a railing I guess. And I can do the same way here, but then it's 2 pieces, a little bit thinner, and then an edge a little bit wider. And then I have my fence over here. And that actually is more or less the entire build. So getting on to the next part is applying texture, drawing in the stones and texturing the stones. I can do a little part of it now, and here is the thing. I already finished building this build, I had to build it in advance to see how it looks like, and it looks really cool. I will show you in a moment. So, but since these projects are getting more and more complex with all the extra elements I'm adding, showing you the full build, like cutting everything out and texturing everything, then you might end up watching me working for 10 hours or so. So that's not the idea. The idea is that you get an idea how you start with a project like this, and I think this will give you a good idea in which sequence a build like this evolves from a basic block up until what you see now. So finally, the railing will be added. Here I will cut out the center, I will add doors and windows, I will cut out some windows for the bay window, and actually then the project is more or less finished to a point where I can start texturing it with a blunt and a sharp pencil, and after that I can glue some roof tiles on it. Okay, so here we have the project I'm working on, and as you can see, I already built the final. I built the house before, so I can explain in a logical sequence what I've been doing. Now I want to show you very short something about texturing the project. I will start with a part of the chimney and just show you a few quick techniques that you can apply over the entire project. And I think, because otherwise the video will be way too long, we wrap it up. So let's try and do that. So for this part, again, I can measure out everything. But if you look here, you see, well, I have a specific, I'm not sure, maybe 1/5 of an inch, a little bit more, a little bit less, high stones, bricks, and I will try to do the same here. I can measure it out, but I prefer to use my pinky as a ruler, and I eyeball where I will land my pencil and draw a line. So getting these straight lines is simply using my pinky as a support. I already see that I'm drawing larger stones now than the ones you see over here, but here we have some of these lines. I can extend them around the corner. As for an example, this is large enough. So let's make some stones out of it, or bricks, I should say. Moet je even uitknippen. Okay. Larger bricks. And actually, I can already feel that I am trying to work as fast as possible, which is the reason I end up making larger bricks, which is actually a pity, because smaller bricks looks so much nicer on this project. You see, I scribble within each stone with a blonde pencil some texture. Do also this side, and then adding these lines on your build. Some tips for you. I'd like to give you a quick tip. So these are the rows of bricks stacked, and here is your chimney situated more or less. Now what I can do is I can actually now take this base row is sticking out, and I can actually use that height and transfer that height on my build. And actually I now can do it all the way around, everywhere. I will just do this one line. And I can repeat this with every row of bricks. And again, my pinky is more or less locked with the pencil. But as you can see, and by the way, don't forget the inside wall. But I hope you can see that this line goes everywhere now. And I can do this with every line. And when it comes to structuring, there is a final thing I'd like to show you. If you look at this project, I chose to actually, and I'm not sure if that is visible, I chose to actually make these arches in a way that the top of these stones that form the arch are flat. Can you see that? Okay. I'm just checking with Ruben. The same goes for the large archways you see over here. So they are all flat. Flat like straight lines. You have seen me done projects where I actually draw a half circle and all these stones form these half circle, but for this build I chose to make it all a little bit more rectangular. And that's a fun feature I think you can apply for this build. Another thing is that the stairway is done using organic stones. So at random I draw some stones and texture them, which will look really nice in combination with the more crisp brick work you see. And on the first floor you can see these flagstone or more rectangular at random stones making up the bottom of the first floor. And at the top, oh yeah, some wood and a hedge. So there you have it. The basic block transferred into a fantasy build like this. We can argue about if it really is that much fantasy, but hey, WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get. So this is what you get. I had a lot of fun building it. A lot of work went into this build. Way too much hours actually. So it is, as I said before, not possible to document every step I've done in this project. But I think I addressed the most important ones. And when it comes to adding the roof tiles or making these texture-like things like the stones and the wood, I think I've addressed these issues enough in previous videos as well, and I gave you a quick recap of texturing stones. As you might remember, before summer we sent out a poll and asking you, okay, we have the basic shape, what would you like to see, the end result? Most of you voted for a fantasy building, which you see over here. But I had so much fun building it that I couldn't stop. So I copied the basic shape and I transformed the basic shape into a Wild West house. Well, you can see, let's put them together. So you see they are really the same shape. Sure, there are things I've altered. This is all solid, this is open. Here it is a roof, here it has a fence. Here we have an elevation with, again, a banister. Here we have a flat roof. There's no chimney over here. And actually this is a very dull part. Might want to add something. But what I really like doing here is combining wood structure and stone elements. Which I will do a video. About that. Also, if you look at the stair, we have a stone stair and we have a wooden stair, which I like very much. And the finishing touch is my little sheriff sign, pointing out that this is the sheriff's office. And it didn't stop there. So I more or less finished this one. I put it aside. And I decided I want to do another one. And here you have it, the sci-fi one. Not sure if it's 40K. The sign at the rear suggests it is. But as you can see, this is a very smooth bunker where I used one of my little structure cylinders to get this concrete look. Added some resin elements, thickened up the wall with sloped sheets of concrete and little slits, typically for a bunker, with the logo, with the entrance for the ground floor. We have maybe some kind of weird installation, but I think it looks cool. And we have, of course, here the stairway up to the iron door. Yeah, and again it can open, as they all can. A lot of fun. So yeah, we have 3 buildings in total, you could say, and I'm very pleased with them. I'm so much that I actually thinking about making an oriental one, a ruined one, and maybe you have some ideas so I can extend this series maybe a little bit more. Well, that wraps up the whole video. I'm afraid it will be a long video again, but just keep it rolling on the background and listen every now and then, and maybe you say, hey, what's the crazy guy telling us now, and is that interesting or not? Anyways, thank you for watching. It was a lot of fun. We absolutely have to do this again. So hope to see you in the next video, and have a great day.